always there and we can ask questions about the old business from the prior meeting. Is that allowed? That's allowed, correct?
Yes. Well, that's
Because I have a couple of questions from our last meeting about the animal control and the shelter and all that stuff, but it's not on our agenda. And if we put it under old business,
either have it old business or bring it up in public comment.
right, okay.
So
All right, with that, is there anything that needs to be added by anybody? No. So with that, can I entertain a motion to approve?
Approve the
moved.
agenda.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, Jamie,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Ronnie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Angie, I. Thank you. Approval of the minutes of November 18th. Did everybody read them?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? None? Jamie,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Ronnie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Angie, I. Warrants. Okay, accounts payable for 11/26 in the amount of $32,765.88. Accounts payable 12/1, $21,374.73. Accounts payable 12/3, $48,562.35. Can I entertain a motion for the
Move to
account?
Accounts payable.
I'll second.
Any discussion? None? Jamie,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Ronnie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Angie, I. Payroll warrant 11/26. We have to do these individually, please. $10,430.56. Can I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Second,
Oh, second. I'll second.
because Jamie thinks he's in that one.
Yeah. Pretty sure I'm in that one.
Okay. So Jamie,
Abstain.
Mike,
Aye.
Ronnie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Angie, I. Payroll warrant 12/3 in the amount of $13,983.61.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Jamie,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Ronnie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
and I. Payroll warrant 12/10 for $11,539.04. I am in this one. So can I entertain a motion? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Jamie,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Ronnie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Angie, abstain.
I believe in that second one that we had, Angie. I think there was another board member in that one. I don't know who it was.
Probably me.
Yeah, oh, yes, you were in one for the planning.
All right, so
I
can you,
abstain from that one.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can you change that, Megan, please, for the second one that Ronnie abstained?
No problem.
Thank you very much. Okay, correspondence. All right, we received numerous correspondence. We received an email, Burdick Trailer Park. Was that passed on to the health officer?
All three of those with the pictures?
Yes.
Yeah, so I sent it to the zoning and the health.
Okay, so that was sent to zoning and health officer. Okay, and did Mindy Jo receive them as well, since she's the executor, or you do not know?
I do not know.
Okay,
So,
all right.
just a quick update on that, and I'm not going to discuss it extensively, even in public comment. Fred and I have been in contact with each other, and we are going to meet at Burdick's Trailer Park, the two of us. So we are in the process of looking at that situation.
Thank you, Mike. All right. And then person of interest is Stacy Boxer for the Planning Commission. And we also received an email from Paul help me with his last name, Scanelli.
Yes.
Scanelli. He was removed at our last board meeting, but he is still interested. So Tim asked him to reapply, send in a letter of intent, and he would be willing to do it via Zoom. He was due to numerous sicknesses and whatever.
Yes.
All right, so those are the three that I know about. And then we have,
Doesn't the, don't they close tomorrow, Tim?
Yes.
The, so
Correct.
can we appoint, Mr. Boxer to that's for the planning commission, I believe, right?
Yes.
yes.
Can we appoint him tonight?
I haven't seen anything on them. I mean, and usually those are easy, you know,
He sent a letter of intent.
Yeah.
But then that
Oh,
was
that was-
forwarded to us.
Yeah, it was forwarded to us.
okay. All right.
Okay, so while you're looking at that, this is from Elizabeth Palmer. Dear Select Board, I am writing about my concerns for the safety on the slight hill curve on Washington Brook Road. On November 18th, there was an awful accident on that corner. The folks were riding an ATV, and as you know, the rest. Can something be done to widen that corner or put up guardrails? There are a lot of ATVs that use this road to get over to South Stream Road. Please take a look at this area and see if some safety issues can be done. Thank you for your time and concern. Concerned citizen and resident of Washington Brook Road, Elizabeth Palmer. So can we send this over to Joel and maybe they can go look at it for us and see if he can check out the guardrails, please?
Yep.
Thank you, Tim. And then, dear Pownal Select Board, it is with sincere appreciation. I would like to acknowledge Angie, Ellen, and Tim for helping me correct an error I made with paying our taxes. The mistake was clearly mine, but they took the time to listen and help me at that time. I am sure they are very busy, very grateful and thankful. Becky Armstrong. Okay. Oh, shoot, I wanted to add this to the agenda, but since it's in everybody received the email from Jennifer Boucher on the
Skating? Yeah.
skating rink.
Yes.
Okay, so my only concern when I heard about this was we did receive a grant for the skating rink to be put in the center park.
Okay.
So now they're gonna propose to send it down to the Pownal Little League. I have no problem with it whatsoever, as long as it's okay that it can be moved due to the grant.
Okay, because of the location, it's still going on Pownal.
It's still going on
property.
municipal property.
Hope that we would be able to, they can relocate it for more use.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know without.
my concern was the grant. My concern was it's not centrally located.
I have to call VLCT, I guess, and check on that.
Wait a minute. Rebecca's asking.
And because we are closer to the school and the daycare, but I have no problem if they're gonna take care of it and maintain it and the kids are gonna use it. I have no problem with it. I just wanted to make sure that it was okay and that it was gonna be used.
Well, the other thing I think they're looking for is they're trying to, Pownal Youth Baseball is actually trying to be youth,
One
all
second.
sports. And if they have enough interest, you never know if they're gonna do a hockey thing besides having open skate
Yep.
time. So I think it's a, great idea.
Rebecca has something to add about the grant piece of it.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
So the skating rink came from a Spark community grant, and it was not one of these village designation grants. So we're still using it for the exact same purposes that we applied for. And I know I'd spoken to you. We should keep it at Center Street Park, but they're speaking to both Peter and Jennifer, and it's just it's too much to maintain up here. We don't have the manpower to maintain that ice skating rink, but down there at the Pownal Youth Baseball area, they'll have a lot of volunteers. There's more parking. And then we can leave the skateboard ramps open all year round.
Okay. Thank
I
you,
think-
Rebecca.
I think
Yeah,
one
I'm
thing
here
that
if you guys need me, so
I'm sorry, Mike.
Thank you.
I said I'm here if you need me for anything else ongoing in the meeting.
All right, thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Okay,
I think
Mike.
one thing we need to make sure of, and I don't think it's a problem, and I'm all for moving it down to the field, the 346 field, because I think it will get used. But I mean, we need to make sure that there's a parking area plowed out, because I think, they probably plow out just a little bit of an area now for the pump station. I mean, it doesn't have to be plowed during a storm, but right after a storm, we just need to make sure whether it's the wastewater or town crew plows out a parking area. Just so there's parking for residents if they want to use it. They don't have to park on 346 and waddle through snow.
Okay, so they would like to have our support as soon as possible of our earliest opportunity so they can set it up. And I have no problem with it. So I think I'll make a motion that I want them to bring it down to the park, the ball field park. It's not a park, it's a field.
Yeah, I'll say.
All
I
right.
think that's a good idea.
Jamie,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Ronnie,
Aye.
He wants to hear more kids screaming down there.
yeah, Bob,
Aye.
Angie, I. So I will let Jennifer, or can you let Jennifer know first thing in the morning that they're allowed to move it? Thank you very much, everybody.
I think we need to reach out to Joel or Darcy or whoever, and make sure that it stays plowed out too. That's all.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you ask Joel when you ask him about Betty Palmer too? I mean, you don't have to do this tomorrow. You can do it Monday.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Except for could you send that to Jennifer
Yes.
tomorrow? Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to 6, town hall update. Is that Mike or Tim or both?
I can give a quick one. So they're moving forward on the insides. The heat should be in by next week. They're just to the point where they're finishing up all the plumbing pieces. And then Mike, Eric and I are going to meet next week about next steps of what the next phase will be and about moving and stuff like that. So all is moving in. The power, they haven't moved the power over yet. They were supposed to do that last Friday and the power company was short-staffed. And so they had to cancel on us. So we're waiting to hear back from them so that they could turn the power on to the building. But so
Yeah,
all
we're
good.
moving forward. It's the heat will be a huge factor once we get that in there. It'll be, a little easier to work and whatever. And
Yeah. And they can start on the finishing,
Yep.
painting and the flooring and
Great.
I don't think we have a timeline yet of a move in. We may be able to come up with some sort of a timeline, rough estimate next week when we meet.
Yeah.
One day next week, Eric, Tim and I are gonna meet and do some discussion.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sounds good. All right, moving on to public comment. Was there anything else that I had to add? I couldn't remember. Oh, yes, public comment. So I wanted to ask about the new animal shelter from the CDC. Has anything happened with that?
I haven't heard back from them and I don't believe Leonard has either.
Okay. Animal control signage, did you talk to Joel about that?
He hasn't gotten back to me either, but like we talked earlier, I've got it up. I could just order that. It's easy. It
And you said it was like $50, right?
wasn't a lot. Yeah.
I think you should go ahead and order it, please, if there is none. And then the animal ordinance draft, when should we look at that?
Probably in January.
In January, put it on for our next, not December meeting, but January meeting,
Okay.
I would
our
think,
first January meeting.
unless we need to have a work session first, but yeah, definitely.
You may need a work session. I know Leonard and Megan have been working on it, but I don't know where it's at as far as,
Well,
completeness.
So we'll just call a special meeting when we have a draft, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Mike, what did you want to add?
Oh, sorry.
I think, on those emails, it looks like, that email chain we had going back and forth, it looks like there's some fairly valid concerns both
Right.
ways.
Yeah.
How we're gonna handle that. And I think, before we even bring anything out, I think there's some pretty intensive research that needs to be done so that, we're doing everything right.
Okay,
And that's talking about the fowl and poultry and,
Right. Right, encapsulating the whole kick and caboodle.
so we should have a work,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know
Definitely.
if we need a work session. I mean, right now, we have a rough draft that has a lot of questions and
Right.
concerns that need to be researched out. And once they're researched out, then we can certainly move on from, that and probably have a work session. But I think I think they have a great start and it's a work in progress.
okay. So let's shoot for sometime in January, one of our meetings in January.
Sure, offset, yep.
All right, then the new truck was ordered.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that was all I had. We discussed the park. Yep, that's all I had. So anybody else have anything to add in public comment before we open it to the public?
About huge kudos to our animal control officer for continuing to do an awesome job out there.
Yes, he's had to deal with some not so nice things in the last couple of days. And I also would like to say thank you to all the volunteers who came out to help with the decorating of the tree and the event there that night. It was very well attended. There was over probably 125, 130 people. It was
For the tree lighting.
for the tree lighting. Santa Claus was there. There was caroling. The kids were sliding in the snow a little bit, and it was a really good night. Too bad the tree didn't light up, but it happened on Sunday. So I want to thank everybody that took the time. The firemen from Bennington and Pownal spent about 7.5 hours on that tree. So thank you very much. Okay, now we can open up to public comment. Please remember to raise your hand and state your full name.
Jim?
Hello, Jim Cosas, Mason Hill Road. Hey, Angie, that's a great idea about bringing up some old business and stuff. There's a couple of them that I just was wondering where we stand on. I know the racetrack burned down quite a while ago. I heard that there was supposed to be a meeting with the fire marshal and everything, but it hasn't been boarded up. It hasn't been demolished, and it hasn't been fenced in or anything like that. So I'm just wondering, is there anything that we're concerned about with that building, or are we just letting this gentleman have a free ride for another period of time? I mean, this has been going on for many months now. Second, old business, Route 7 trash. I'm not sure. Does anyone notice what I'm seeing next to the nice building that used to be the Rogers Roost? And someone came in there and bought that building, and we find out that now we have snow and all that trash. And I'm just appalled that this is old business for the last 15, 20 years. So the last thing, old business, forensic audit, just trying to figure out if that's still on the agenda for bringing up or coming to some kind of resolution at all. And then we're at the point of an employee policy that I know was brought up a couple of meetings ago. And so I'm hope that comes back on the table so that we can have a nice employee policy. So thank you very much and have a great night.
Thank you. Have a good night. All right, so we have to pass these down. All right, for the, oh, you want to go that way?
Well, I didn't know if he signed
No,
it.
you're.
I already signed it.
All right, so pass it down that way or pass it this way. I don't care. For the racetrack, we have not heard back from the state. Is that correct, Mike? You have not received anything? Our hands are kind of tied right now. It's privately owned.
Fire marshal's hands.
It's in the fire marshal's hands. We are still working on it. we're trying to do the best we can with what we can do. When something is privately owned, it's kind of hard.
Well, we also have the fact that it's in the state's
It's in the
hands,
state's hands as
and it's at
well.
the fire marshal, and
Yes.
if we take action on it, then suddenly it becomes the town's liability.
Yes, and we don't
That's
want
what
to
we
be
really
liable.
wanna be careful of.
We have to be very careful because we don't want to spend the kind of money that it will take up, unfortunately. All right, and
It's one of these.
the second question was, sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
Trash.
Trash, thank you. Same thing. Mike is working on that. We have it in our bylaws. We have to be careful what we can do and what we can't do
How to proceed.
and how to proceed. And the third thing, we still can't discuss it. We have to wait for the lawyer. And as soon as we can discuss it, you'll be the first to know.
And it's,
As far as the trash is concerned, I mean, we did take action.
We did
right?
take action, yes.
So there is an increase in fines, but
Right.
again, that depends on catching it as it happens.
That's catching the culprit.
Right.
I mean, now the new spot's on top of Pine Tree Hill, I noticed.
Oh, just a clarification, it's not the trash on the road, it's that area where the,
I know what
the-
you're talking and we have to be extremely careful.
All right, well, I'm just trying to figure out because now we have the snowfall and it is, I mean, that place is down there attracting rats and everything. And
Yeah. Well, some people consider trash, Jim. I'm not going to get in a debate about this, but what some people consider trash, other people consider treasure.
Okay.
So we just have to be very careful and we don't want to open the town up to liability. Okay,
Fine.
thank you very much.
and I can give an update on the policy manual.
Yes, okay, sorry, there was one more policy, correct.
Just literally this afternoon received the version.
Right, that's why you're not working in the office
Right.
tomorrow. He's going to be working from home so he can work on that and the budget.
Yes.
Okay, that was all of his questions, correct? I didn't miss nothing. Okay. Thank you, Tim. Have a good, or Jim, have a good night.
Anybody else?
Is there anybody else? Please raise your hand.
Mindy Joe.
Yeah, Mindy Jo.
Hello, Mindy Joe Harrington here. How are y'all tonight?
Good, thank you, Mindy. How are you?
I'm all right. I actually have done some homework and I can actually rent an excavator to tear down that trailer lot 6 and pick up all the trash. Probably guesstimate is about 3 trailer loads after watching Jeff Miller Jr. take the other trailer out of here the same way. Which is with having to pay the water lien is going to cost around $3,500, not $5,800. Free labor because I think people of the community should, well, this community, the tight knit one, which would be me and my friend, clean it up. Do I need permits and such to do so? I need to know the legalities of what I can and cannot do when it comes to tearing that junk out of here. Because Kathy will sign it over to me, okay, just to get rid of it. And we want to get rid of it.
As well, I would imagine is we have to check with the DRB, correct? On that,
Okay.
you make sure you have, did you say her name was Kathy?
Well, that's the owner of the trailer.
Make sure you have that paperwork in hand before you do
But
anything.
this is my, all right. Look, yeah, no. Ma'am, I understand that. Here's my issue. Now, do I have to go through the whole rigmarole of getting it signed into the estate of, or can we just get her to give it to the estate so we can get rid of it? I don't want to have to pay more money out to put it in the name and this and that and $15 a page for the town clerk to sign it. At least this time she can't give permission to anybody to move into it. You know, I'm still hitting walls here.
Mindy Joe, you have a lawyer, correct?
Not for this. I don't. I'm trying to handle some of this myself. As you know, money doesn't grow on trees, and it's pretty scarce around here.
Yeah, I understand, but I would think that you would, as the executor, your lawyer should be able to tell you what you can and cannot do legally.
One of them's an estate lawyer. One of them's an eviction lawyer.
Mike, you're on mute if you're trying to say something.
He already said we're gonna discuss this, because my next thing is, why didn't I receive an email about Burdick's Park with pictures? So, and he already said he wasn't gonna discuss it, so it is what it is.
So Mindy Joe, I think you're asking questions that the select board can't answer.
You guys can't answer
Tell
nothing.
you, we can't tell you what you can or cannot do
You can't tell me
legally.
if there's permits needed, really?
Do you want to listen or do you want to argue with me?
Well, right now, I'm still bewildered about not receiving an email. Everybody's got it, but you're not gonna discuss it until tomorrow, so let's drop it on my head. Surprise!
Well, I'm not sure that anybody's dropping anything on anybody's head, and I'm not sure it's tomorrow. It could, whatever.
Friday, tomorrow's Friday. You're meeting here
And-
Friday, right?
I don't know who said we were gonna be there Friday.
You
I didn't
just
say
said
that.
you and Fred were gonna be here Friday.
I didn't say we were gonna be there Friday. I
Didn't say a
said we had a
date.
plan to be there.
Oh, I thought I apologize, and I could have swore you said Friday.
Didn't say there was no date.
But that's okay. So, and it possibly is gonna be tomorrow. Well, at any rate, you're asking us whether or not,
If there's permits,
First off-
I'm
first
not
off, you
looking for
don't need-
permission, I'm looking for permits.
I'm done. I'm
Good.
done. Sorry.
I'm about done myself. I feel like I'm chasing my tail, Mike.
These are questions that we can't answer for you because we are not a lawyer, and
A lawyer knows about town
you are
permits?
talking about private land that we don't own it, but you're the executor of private land.
Her 3 minutes are up.
How come I always get 3 minutes and nobody else does, Mike?
Jim
Everybody
Costas
gets
it.
3 minutes.
Jim Costas
Really?
gets it every time he calls in when he goes over. So,
I just asked if there was permits that I needed through the town. You know, you guys are just making things even more difficult.
By the way.
Mindy Joe, the only thing I can suggest to you is please contact the DRB. They will be able to tell you if you need permits or not. I cannot tell you that. I'm sorry. Thank you. Have a good night. Is there anybody else? Please raise your hand.
Without the thing in front of me, I don't know.
There's no one else
Megan?
raising their hand.
I entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
we need
So moved.
to go into executive session.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's right. Let's go into executive session.
Are we going into executive session for
I
legal?
move that we go, you ready?
Yeah.
I know there's a delay here. I'm moving to go into executive session for legal contractual to discuss a matter that premature knowledge would place the town at a disadvantage.
Second,
There will be no action taken.
All right, so I have a second.
yep.
Jamie,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Ronnie,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Angie, I.
Megan, can you let us know when everybody's in the way?